Hey everyone, this is Cutting Down the Nets Thursday, January 25th. Welcome. Got out kind of alive tonight. Super frustrating having Rice follow down 12 with the 12.5 point spread. Auburn being within one with like 11 seconds left, just couldn't close the deal. It was a fine night. I added Notre Dame late. Those are just the stuff that like every time they lose, I swear to God. So whatever. Still having a decent year. Wish we were doing a little better. But let's roll into Thursday's schedule. So introduction of a new metric today. Friends of the show will remember it last year, but I get a little concerned after we have 20 games that some teams have played. And I'm looking at recent data, which is leaning pretty heavily into half of that, and then having a shot quality number that is for all 20 games. So I take some bastardized math. It works, but I'm trying to compare what shot quality was on, let's just say December 2nd, about 12 games ago. And I want to compare that to current shot quality. Our team's trending up, down, that sort of thing. So that column here, recent SQ, is what that is. Super noisy. I mean, we're dealing with small sample size, but I just want to get an idea. So don't treat it as like, holy cow, there's 15 points of value in the recent shot quality number versus the spread. More directionally, like, okay, this lines up with what Paddy's saying, or like, no, this is not lining up with what Paddy's saying. So to give you an example, very first game, Riverside at UC San Diego. Paddy in the 13 to 16 range, spread's only 8. The year-to-date shot quality number is about 7. So I'm like, not great. But if you look at how that has changed in the last 10 to 12 games, using that data, it's more like 21.5. So as the increase in efficiency, it came with increase in shot quality, which is good. The flip side of that is usually luck. So interested in that, but this game doesn't have a whole lot of pace. Other parts of the matchup seem clean. I mean, UCSD is far superior shooting team. They can get to the free throw line here, but it's still 8. I mean, those are tough to cover. Even when you're up 14 in the second half, you don't feel good about it. Okay, next game is Detroit at Milwaukee. Detroit is, as many of you would know, 0-20 on the year. So we are asking Torvik's 261st team to lay 12.5 points. A bit tricky, I would say. So Paddy puts it around 19. The spread is 12.5. Year-to-date shot quality at 9. Recent shot quality at 18. KenPom at 14. I mean, they got to win. I mean, they probably don't win as 12.5 point dogs, but yeah, that's a lot of points to lay with a pretty bad team. Next up, Montana at Portland State. So shot quality is much closer to the point spread in these games. Year-to-date 3, recent 7, actual is 5. So yeah, that's pretty much in line. So now you're leaning pretty heavy on the Paddy number, and looking at that, it seems a bit driven by 3-point luck on really both sides of the ball for Montana. How dare I say that? How would you know? What do you mean? I will show you that their year-to-date 3-point percentage is about 35, and their defense is 33.8. Looking at the last 5 games, you can kind of see that they've exceeded that. So this probably wasn't them early in the year. This probably isn't them now. And all of that's leading to some pretty gaudy numbers here that really inflate Montana's profile and make it show as a play. Also, when your opponents go, 10 out of the last 50 3-pointers, usually that bounces back too. So yeah, that's kind of like the hot take there is you're really leaning on this number because everything else is pretty close. So if that is inflated, a few 3-pointers here and there, not ideal. I've never considered laying this many points, but here we go. Pacific and St. Mary's. I think it's a fair number, but St. Mary's plays so slow that laying 27.5 just is that's a pretty tall task. However, Pacific's only played one team inside like the top 100 or top 130. And it's Nevada, and they lost by 47. So it's possible. I mean, St. Mary's is far better than Nevada. So yeah, this one's interesting. I mean, they'll be able to get whatever they want. They won't turn it over. Yeah, the getting's good from all areas of the court. Inside, mid-range, 3-point. I don't know. That's just usually not my jam. But hey, maybe it's kind of fun just to cheer for St. Mary's to get up. I don't know, 37-11 in the first half, and then you're like, oh, look at this thing go. All right, NDSU at St. Thomas. I've been Team St. Thomas for a while. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Really strong offensive team, good offensive scheme. So this one is attractive. Paddy's in the 10-13 range. Shot quality year to date is 7.5, and recent is trending better for St. Thomas. But we are laying 7, and we're laying 7 against NDSU, which is a competent offense. So that's kind of a danger. If you're laying points against competent offense, it's just, man, once you fall down and you're laying 7, God, that sucks. Hate it. Okay, other concern is just the pace. Both teams play pretty slow, but yeah, I mean, this could be a 60-possession game, 62-possession game. Somewhere in there seems possible. I'll show you kind of the pace statistics here. This is the matchup for these two teams. So 358th in pace is St. Thomas, and not far behind is NDSU. So yeah, interesting where I'll go there. Don't know for sure. Excuse me. Next up, Northern Arizona. All right. So for the next two teams or next two games, these are data plays that are just awful teams on both sides. So asking a short favorite, I don't think is the end of the world. So Idaho -3, shot quality is in that 5 to 12 range. Paddy's in 8, so like I'm fine with it. The KenPom number's at 2, but feeling pretty good about that. You just have to know that, I mean, these teams are awful. And overall, I mean, we should be done with preseason priors at this point. Like, if we're still anchoring to what we thought would happen and aren't using 20 games of data, I mean, stop. I mean, I use like 8 games of data sometimes. So, what I was going to say is Idaho started in like the 340s for a Torvik rating and has like dropped 100. They're in the like high 200s now. And then Northern Arizona, kind of the opposite. They were forecasted to be a bad team and have been a very bad team is kind of how that works. So, yeah. Stonehill and LAU. Brooklyn. Stonehill's in Division I for like the second year. So they really struggle in lots of areas. They do shoot a lot of threes, so a bit of variance there. But these are two. The previous game was bad teams. These are it. I mean, these are two bottom 15 teams, and yeah, neither play in the SWAC or the MEAC. So yeah, I'm interested in both those games. I'm gonna see what happens. I don't know. Looks like a fun slate. I mean, I could tell like once I ran the program today, I was like, oh, there's not like a high major team like on this slate for the most part. Okay, Jacksonville, EKU. So EKU is showing strong Paddy-wise, with the median even being higher, despite being unlucky with 3-point defense most of the year. And that's probably why that shot quality number is there. So I like this. They're making you pay a little bit of a tax at 1.5 above KenPom. So I'll kind of watch that one and see what happens. Okay, I have just a handful left. Omaha at Oral Roberts. These are two teams that have struggled defensively, but this shot quality stuff is really interesting to me. So year to date, Omaha's shot quality puts them as a 4-point favorite in this matchup. And then using recent data, closer to 8. And they are the underdog, getting 5. But interesting enough, I respect the Circa line. Circa, that line moved from like 4.5 to 5. So now it's currently at 5. But yeah, I'm interested in the Omaha side. And yeah, Godspeed. Oakland and Green Bay. Green Bay has been a nice surprise. Now we're going to get into some conflicting data, and I don't know how to handle that yet, so I'm just going to kind of monitor the line and then probably make a really bad decision 5 minutes before tip. So Green Bay has been a pleasant surprise, but here is the data story. So Paddy puts this as Green Bay slightly favored to win the game, like not by a lot of points. They are 2.5-point dogs, so you're getting less than a possession here, really, but since it crosses the 0, it looks a little higher. But year to date, Oakland favored by 7 in shot quality, and then recent play kind of puts that in line with Paddy. So, yeah, not sure what I'll do there. Little scared that you're really not getting much value if you just consider the game kind of a toss-up. I'd want to get that higher than a possession, which might not happen. North Florida, Bellarmine. North Florida, Paddy has North Florida by about 6 to 7. Shot quality year to date actually has the Bellarmine side favored by 4, but recent shot quality data is right in line with the Paddy median, which is 5 points of value higher than the current point spread of 2. So things to note here. North Florida shoots a lot of threes. I believe it is the most in all of college basketball. I can confirm that here in just a second. It looks like 3-point rate. 55.5% of their shots are 3-pointers. Congratulations. You are first in the country. Congratulations. So, yeah, they shoot a ton of threes. This is North Florida's coached by Matthew Driscoll. Friends of the show will remember that I've used his video of screaming "Let's go" like 100 times. So, North Florida, always near and dear to me. This one looks okay, but you really have to ignore the year-to-date shot quality, which is not like something I love to do. Okay, last game I'll kind of highlight in yellow here is Fort Wayne, Northern Kentucky. Fort Wayne is in a tailspin. They have really struggled, so this Paddy number is more like 8.5 to 12. Year-to-date shot quality, only 3, so directionally it is also showing that the shot quality rating is being affected at the same rate Paddy is. Paying a little bit of a tax again, 1.5 points higher than KenPom, so we will watch that one. I'm not going to chase too much there. We'll see what happens. So I'd say right now, and you kind of saw how the pool changed for me yesterday, Wednesday. This one I got right now. This is what I'm leading. So probably like EKU and Omaha the best. Scared of St. Thomas playing against competent offense. So yeah, that's kind of it right now. All those yellow games are kind of in play. Like, what if a line moves even like a half point, it just like climbs the charts, starts to look attractive. So this is Thursday, January 24th. Light schedule Friday. This is Thursday the 25th. Light schedule Friday the 26th. Likely do some sort of Saturday show for the big slate. So that's all I got today. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to be kind of back in a routine. And thanks for listening to me ramble, as always. This is Cutting Down the Nets. Good luck, everybody.